I just want to let you know that today's video, I'm going to rant a lot, okay? It's going to be a lot. So if you're not down for that, if you're just trying to chill, this ain't the one for you, girlfriend. I need to talk to you, okay? Okay. It's story time, bitch. Hey best friend, guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another story time for y'all. Now this story time is very different because it literally just happened last night and I'm still reeling and I am still trying to work on myself, girl, okay? I am trying. Let's continue. Y'all just gotta let me go off. Everybody have a seat around the table. Hey girl, hey, how you been? Grab your wine, grab your snacks, girl. Okay, today is not a wine or a snack kind of day. Okay? Okay. All right. Now, before we get into that and before we get into the story, as per usual, we're going to give our Glamazon shot a shout out. If you would like your chance to be one of my Glamazons, it is super easy. Just use your hashtag Glamazon shot. Send me your cutest selfie and, of course, tag your girls. But I love giving y'all a shout out during every one of my story times and Ask Nikki's just because they get the most views so that, you know, we can all follow each other and love on each other. So definitely send me your selfies. I love seeing y'all. So if you haven't already done yourself a favor and just followed your girl, here are my socials for you. If you would like to, you know, check it out over there. I update y'all all the time over there. My Instagram fam got updated about this very story before everybody else. So, okay. So today I'm going to be picking through Instagram because I know that I picked through Twitter last time. Super simple, and I just pick on the day of filming. So it's very random. So it could be you, girl. Girl. Okay. I see you. Girl, everybody say what's up to our girl. You can find her on Instagram at Queen Quindea. Now, not only is she rocking this look, but she says in her caption, it took a lot for me to post this picture because of my legs. Usually I would not post a picture in an outfit that shows my legs without posing a certain way. But today, all of that changes and I am going to embrace all parts of my body, even if it means making myself uncomfortable. Yes! Girl, you look incredible. Okay, you need to be showing them legs more often, posed or not. Let our girl know down below that she does not need to be self-conscious of this magic right here. Okay, y'all all go give our girl a follow. Show her some love so we can all just like band together as the Glam fam. Thank you, girl, so much for being one of my ride or dies and for loving me and supporting me. I really, really appreciate it. You guys know that I would not be here without you and I could not do this without each and every one of you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, 1, 2, 3, salud, okay? Thank you. In today's story time, I will be discussing an issue that you may have a difference of an opinion on, okay? So I'm going to preface this video with a few little facts, just so we on the same page, okay? Number one, you should know that I have been living in my current home since 2017. So it's been 3 years. In that time, the neighbors in which I'm speaking of, they're actually pretty new. 2 other families have lived in this house before them since we've been here, so families aren't staying long in that house. I don't know what's up with that house, you know what I mean? But anyways, this is a brand new family. I would say they've been here for like 6 months, maybe, if that. Okay, moving on. So if you are a part of my Glam fam, especially on my stories, I update y'all on almost an every single day basis about what's going on in my life, you know, just little things here and there just to keep y'all in the loop. Just a few days ago, y'all that remember, comment down below and tell me, am I lying? Am I lying? And I let y'all know that I had been up since 3 in the morning with Ezra. Mila woke up shortly thereafter and we had both of the kids in our bed. At the end of the day, the whole premise of my IG stories was that I was sleep deprived and, you know, David and I aren't getting much sleep and the babies just are going, you know, Mila's teething and Ezra's doing the 2-year-old regression thing for a little bit. So, of course, you know, anytime they have growth spurts, all that kind of stuff matters. But anyways, in a nutshell, your girl was like, oh my God, you know, I was literally just talking about the lack of sleep that David and I have been getting, as well as the fact that Ezra especially has been having a hard time sleeping as of recently for like the last week. Been an eventful morning. Good morning. Both my babies decided that it would be a great time to wake up at, well, Ezra woke up at 3:30 and Mila woke up shortly thereafter, and then all of a sudden we have both babies in our bed. Mila starts pulling Ezra's hair. Ezra starts pushing Mila. They're both crying. It's been a day, and it ain't been no whole day. Of course, everybody knows this. When you have babies, all my mamas, all my dads out there, y'all already know what's up, okay? We do not get a bunch of sleep. It's just a part of parenting, you know? Some weeks are harder than others, and this was an exceptionally hard week. I had literally just talked to y'all about this, okay? And last but certainly not least, I'm just going to be upfront and center with you, girl, about my opinion on this particular topic. And again, if you have a difference of an opinion, that's cool. Just make sure you're respectful about it, because, you know, I'm trying to come at you correct. You know what I mean? So, like, same. Here's how I feel. I feel like, first of all, when you find a place to live, whether it's an apartment, a condo, a rental house, your home, your forever home, I don't care where. If you are residing there, I feel that it is absolutely essential for you to look around and observe the space, not only inside, outside as well, okay? Especially when it comes to homes, like actual houses. Assess your situation. And what I mean by that is actually pay attention to how much space is between you and your neighbors. That's very important, in my opinion, because those are your neighbors. And at the end of the day, this is their home, and they should feel comfortable in their home. If they can't feel at peace and comfortable in their home, where can they? They deserve that, just like I deserve peace in my home. So when you move into a new place, let's just say, I feel like it would behoove you as the person moving into this new community for you to take other people's peace into consideration before making really selfish decisions, such as having loud parties or not caring about noise ordinances. And y'all can call me old lady all you want to. That's fine. Let me tell you something. I pay the bills here. I would like to sleep here. This is my home, okay? I've always felt that way, regardless if I had this house. Even when we had our apartment, guess what floor we lived on? The first. Why? Because we had Julian. And Julian has always been very rambunctious, and he loves to jump, and he loves to play and roll around, and we knew that. And I'm not going to sit up there and get an apartment that's above somebody else's home knowing that I have a rambunctious 5-year-old. I'm not going to do that. That's rude. Why would you do that? And a lot of times when you go to apply for apartments, they ask you that question. Do you have a preference in floors? It would be considerate of you as the person moving into this community that if you have a lot of children, that you don't ask for the 3rd floor, ma'am. Everybody and their mama, for real, is going to hear your children. That's not nice. That's not considerate. I don't believe in doing that, okay? I love a good party, all right? I love to have a good time. I am not here to rain on anybody's parade, but not at my expense, okay? And not at my children's expense. That's number one. You have to understand that if I want to have a get together or a party, at the very least, I always make sure that it's on a Friday or a Saturday, just out of consideration. If I want to have like a raging ass party and I want everybody to be there, and I've done this with my friends, we rent out a space, whether it's like a club or you ain't even got to do all that. Like a Airbnb, girl, that has more space between yourself and the neighbors. If you want to party like that, get your ass an acre of land so that you are not bothering anybody else with your pendejadas. That's all I'm asking. We have all types of people on this street that are going through their own thing. I don't have the right to be out in my backyard making a bunch of hoopla on a Monday night, keeping people up. I don't have the right to do that. Whether or not this is my house, that's irrelevant. Because within the confines of my house, what's happening there that other people can hear, it's affecting them. So call me the considerate neighbor, okay? Just as an example, one year I had a big like video game bus come to the house for Julian's birthday, and all the kids could go in there because, you know, his birthday's in February like mine, and I totally understand the issue with like having a birthday in the winter and like people don't want to come to your party because it's so cold. It was my responsibility and mine and David's responsibility to talk talk to our neighbors on both sides, as well as our neighbors across the street, and let them know beforehand, hey, there's gonna be a big bus out here on Saturday. You know, I just wanted to let y'all know. I hope it's not an inconvenience. I hope it's not too loud. You know, I just wanted to make you aware of that. And that's all it needs to be, is some communication. And my neighbors were so understanding, and they really appreciated it. That's all I'm asking for. If you plan on having a fiesta, maybe invite your girl, okay? But let me know so that I can put my baby's white noise a little bit louder. I'm gonna be straight up. All of this that I'm about to tell y'all did not have to happen this way, but it happened the way it happened, and this is the story. So once upon a time, not long ago, David and I have everything scheduled out in just a way that has worked for our children specifically. So we're in our routine. David took on the responsibility of taking Mila upstairs and doing her nighttime routine. So one of us takes one of the kids or the other. We pretty much switch off every other night. So this night was David's night with Mila and mine with Ezra. I feed Ezra oatmeal. Meanwhile, I hear David upstairs. Mila, when she's exhausted, she's like any other baby. She cries. And she cries the whole time that you're getting her ready for bed, and you're wiping her down, and you're getting her bottle ready, and you're like putting her pajamas on. The whole time she's crying. Okay, so I hear my child up there, and she's so tired. She's had a long day. She's learning how to crawl. It's hard out here in these streets for a princess. Okay, there's David, you know, doing his dad thing, and he's so incredible, and he puts Mila down to sleep. Meanwhile, I, you know, go over ABCs and flashcards with Ezra. I feed him his oatmeal, and then it's time for him to go upstairs and have his nighttime routine. To be honest with you, David and I were pretty nervous about Ezra going down to sleep because, you know, he usually, as of recently, he's been waking up real early. If Ezra wakes up, then he wakes up Mila, and then it's a whole party. So at this point in the evening, Mila the princess already asleep. So when we put down Ezra, after that, girl, it's like silence on set. Do not make any sudden moves, no loud noises, because Ezra will wake up just like any other kid. They are going to wake up, and then it is the parents' job to put the baby back to sleep. A little later, my mom comes to me and she's like, hey, do you hear that? And I was like, hear what? And she was like, there are so many people outside. She was like, and I was trying to sleep, and they literally woke me up out of a dead sleep, Mihaly. In that moment, I remembered that, you guys, all the way, like, I would say like at 10 or 11 in the morning yesterday, we saw our neighbors setting up their backyard. They put like a canopy out there over their grill. Like, it was apparent that they were going to be grilling out there and having themselves a good time. So I remembered that, and I was like, oh yeah, like I knew that they were going to have like people over. And then as the day went on, you saw people outside, and, you know, you could tell they had their family over. And I was like, oh, that's cute. You know, it's a beautiful day. It's perfect for this. And, you know, they had themselves a good time. But that was way earlier in the day. So I look at my mom and I'm like, well, yeah, I know that they had, you know, a get together, but I haven't heard anything. And she was like, Miha, I'm telling you, they are being so loud. She goes back upstairs, and David and I are working in the living room together. And he's on the iPad, and I'm on my phone, and I'm checking emails, and he and I are kind of just like talking back and forth. And all of a sudden, I hear this huge burst of just loud ass laughter. David and I both hear that, and we look at each other, and I was like, oh my God, is that what my mom's talking about? And he was like, yeah, like I can hear them now. And I was like, okay. I peeked out of the curtains, and I see that my neighbors are outside, and our backyards face each other, right? So our neighbors are outside, and they have their entire family out there. And then the dude that has that house, that actually lives there, like he's the man of the house, he was the one grilling. And I'm sitting there, and I look at David, and I was like, they've been grilling since like noon this afternoon. Like, this dude is still grilling. And David was like, for real? Straight up, y'all, I looked at my calendar. I was like, is today like a holiday that I don't know about? Like, you know, maybe there's no work tomorrow. I don't know. And no, it's a normal day. They just are out there. And because it's so many people in such a small area, of course it's going to sound loud, and it echoes. David and I keep going back and forth, and I was like, you know, I'm just going to give it some time. You know, maybe they're just going to hang out for a little bit while their food settles, and then they're going to go back inside, you know, at least. We hang around, and I go back into the living room, and I'm just chilling with David. And the whole time, you guys, they're just back there. And as time goes on, they're getting louder and louder and louder. And they have been drinking all day. Since the family arrived in the afternoon, of course, when you go see your family and it's a barbecue, you know? So they had been drinking all day at this point. And so it's almost 11 o'clock now. Just imagine how inebriated these people are. And you tend to go a little, like an octave louder when you are intoxicated. And then they had their babies out there. There was probably like 3 kids out there being loud as hell. 5, 7-year-old kids just running around, screaming, throwing the ball, you know. They acted like it was the afternoon. So David and I are sitting there, we're going back and forth. You know, we don't want to be those neighbors. We don't want to rain on nobody's parade. We don't want to ruin nobody's good time. So as long as it doesn't affect us, we good, whatever. So we let them do what they're going to do. And then my baby's monitor goes off. And it notifies me when he's crying or he's making noise or if he's awake. And my phone dings. And my watch dings. And David's phone dings. And guess what? Ezra is awake. So we got to go up there. We got to talk to the baby. We got to get him to wind down again. And we got to put him back to sleep. After having had such a hard week with my son, he was going to sleep just fine, y'all. He was fine. Finally, he's like starting to kind of come out of this rough spot as far as his sleep is concerned. David and I were like, yes, finally we can get work done. Like we can just chill, maybe watch a show, just a show, you know what I mean? No, because they want to erupt in laughter and fill up our entire neighborhood with their fucking noise and be all loud and be doing one of these and you know, like they're those ones that like hit the damn table when they're laughing because they have to like make as much noise as possible when they're just kicking. Like they was them's people. So all that noise woke up my baby. We handle Ezra. We put him back down. Now I'm pissed. Y'all, I was so annoyed. But still, I was like, you know what? I'm not trying to cause no scene. So David and I looked at each other and we were like, what is the most amicable way of handling this situation? Like, what can we do? We don't want to make enemies with our neighbors, obviously. You know, they haven't lived here for very long. But, you know, I'd never want to have bad blood between myself and my neighbors ever. So David and I are going back and forth and, you know, we kept flip-flopping like, okay, maybe they're going to quiet down now. And, you know, just coming in and out of the house and slamming the door and bringing drinks out, you know, like doing the whole thing. And they're just like, y'all, so loud with all my doors closed and all my windows closed. My baby still woke up. That type of loud. Okay, so as time kept going on, they just kept getting louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. And as that kept happening, David and I are becoming less and less and less and less understanding. Like it's getting later and later. You know that your peeps are being this loud. Like you know how close in proximity we are to our neighbors. Why are you making this decision right now? Like it's a Monday night. Like what part of this is okay to you? As the minutes are going on and they're getting louder and louder, David's patience is wearing thin. The great thing about David though is that even though he's irritated, he will still be polite. And he heard them continue to be loud and just getting louder by the second. My husband decided to go over to our sliding glass door and he opened it a little bit and he turned on our back porch light and he said, hey, do you guys mind keeping it down, please? I have babies that are trying to sleep. So I'm standing behind David and he says this. And I hear in response a few of the other men that are over there say, sorry. Oh, okay, sorry. And then I hear a woman say, I'm sorry. A completely different sorry. Okay, there's 2 different sorries. There's I'm sorry, and then there's I'm sorry. All the men's and everybody else, there was like 4 or 5 other people that responded to David that said something along the lines of sorry, we'll keep it down, you know, stuff like that. But that one lady who just so happens to be the wife of that house, she is my direct neighbor. She decides to look at my husband and say, I'm sorry. And David goes on to repeat himself because my husband is very sweet and kind-hearted and he's polite and he was raised right. So he says again, could you guys keep it down? I have babies. This lady decides to say, I'm sorry. She proceeds to get up, walk across her yard, and come right up to the fence to look at my husband and challenge him and say, I'm sorry. Let me tell you something. I'm not stupid. There is absolutely no way in the world that 4 or 5 other people in your party can hear my husband just fine. But you seem to be having a problem with your hearing, ma'am. Because you sitting up here coming at my husband sideways talking about, I'm sorry. I'm sick of your little apologies, ma'am. Excuse me, David. Let me speak to this woman in an octave that maybe she can hear, okay? So I moved my husband and I said, what my husband is saying is that I have 2 babies. Both of my children, lady, are little and they are trying to sleep right here. And you have already woken up my son. So what my husband is asking is if you could keep it down a little bit, because you see, as you can see out here, ma'am, nobody else is having these types of get-togethers because everybody knows that in this community, after 10 p.m. is quiet hours during the week. She responds with, is that written somewhere? Yes, ma'am. It's in the HOA regulations. Yes, ma'am, it is. It is written in there. Oh, it is? It is? Yes, ma'am, it is. I don't know what to do. So I don't, we're just hanging out. I don't feel like we're being that loud. I just don't feel like this is very loud. Ma'am, like I said, you already woke up my son. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Also, I needed to let her know, before you sit up here and try to lie to me, lady, and try to downplay y'all's behavior and y'all's complete disregard for anybody else trying to sleep on a Monday night, let me tell you something. I said, ma'am, this right here is a camera. And I pointed to my floodlights that are like my back porch lights. And on my floodlights, there are cameras because... duh. Of course I got security at my house. I told her, this right here, ma'am, is a camera. And you and your guests are setting off the noise meter on here because it's too high. So this thing keeps recording y'all because it's noisy out here. The reason why I wanted her to know that was because I was giving her valid reasons as to why I was having an issue with what they were doing right now. Number 1, you have already woken up my son. Number 2, you're setting off this noise detector and this motion detector in my backyard. That's how loud you're being. You guys, I even turned off the motion detector because I knew that they were going to be out there. I don't want like my lights to be shining all up in their face, but the noise detector is still on regardless of whether or not I turn off the motion detector, and the noise detector kept going off and going off and going off and going off. So I was trying to let her know I have justifiable, valid reasons why I'm out here, ma'am. Like, these are the things that are happening because you guys choose to be out here at 11 p.m. on a Monday. She proceeds to look at me all stupid and ask me, well, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, what do you want me to do? And I said, okay, this woman, and I'm not even trying to throw shade. She's like at least 2 times my age. This woman is asking me what she should do to abide by HOA regulations within our community, because she obviously doesn't have the wherewithal or the problem-solving skills to make a decision for herself and her family. So she decides to turn to me and put that shit in my court. And I didn't know what you want me to do. Okay, ma'am. Well, how about this? I have sleeping children. You have family over. Why don't we come to a peaceful compromise, shall we? Because it cannot keep going on as it is, because it's just too loud. So I kept asking her, so what compromise do you have in mind? She looked at me and said, you come up with something. Ma'am, here's the thing. She came to the fence with this whole I'm sorry to my husband, and then when we give her valid shit and she has the audacity to ask me whether or not this shit's written down anywhere, and I say, yes, ma'am, it is. That is literally why everybody else is in their home and everybody else's backyard is pitch black, because everybody else knows this. And I just said it to you. This is written in the HOA regulations. I get if you don't know that already. For your response to be, well, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. What you mean? Now, at that point, You did not come over here to find a solution or to be neighborly. You came over to my fence for a fight, and you just want to go back and forth, because even though I told you that this is against our HOA regulations, ma'am. So then she's like, well, you're the only person that seems to have a problem with this. And I said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, I'm not. And here's why. Because when I was looking out my window to see where they were at and where that loud ass noise was coming from, I see my neighbor next to them in her backyard looking out of her screen and being like, the fuck? Like, this is so loud. You could tell, like, my neighbors next to them, all of us, we were like looking out our windows like, the fuck are you doing? Like, this is so late. It's late. It's a Monday. Like, what the hell? So I saw my other neighbors that are not nearly as confrontational as, say, we are, looking out their windows all bothered. So I told her, no, ma'am, that is not the truth. She's bothered. He's bothered. Like, you know, this is obviously an issue. So what type of compromise are you willing to come to, senora? That's literally what I said. That's what I said. Because I'm not here to fight. I am a grown-ass woman. I am a mother. And that is the only reason why I'm out here, because I'm a mother. It was at this point that she starts giving me attitude and telling me that she don't think it's too loud and it's not a problem, and that her kids are up. And she brought up her kids, and she was like justifying to me that I should be fine mother to mother with her being out there keeping my baby awake because you see her babies are awake. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, no, God. You got me messed up, okay? So I straight up told her, ma'am, you may be fine with your children staying up all hours of the night, but ma'am, I am not that one. I'm not that mother. I have my children going to sleep at a decent time. If you want your children out here and being entertained, that's you. But I have my children going to bed at a decent time. They are not up this late, and that's your prerogative, mother to mother. But as a mother, my children are sleeping. So just because your kids are up don't have nothing to do with me and mine. At this point, my mom hears the commotion that's happening in the backyard because, you know, obviously she and I are getting loud with each other because she's playing stupid. She played stupid with my husband in the first place, talking about, I'm sorry, and having my nice husband repeat himself. That made me so mad because I know you hurt him. And that made me so mad. Like, why can't you be like everybody else in your damn party? That everybody else was like, oh, hey, sorry, yeah, we'll keep it down. But you had the audacity to get up and to sit there and be like, I'm sorry. My mom hears the commotion and she opens her bedroom door. And she starts talking to this lady in Spanish. Now, keep in mind, my neighbors are Hispanic. So my mom starts talking to them in Spanish, talking about, hey, you know, we're just trying to have a good night. We're trying to have a peaceful evening. Please have some respect for my daughter, her home, and her kids. You know, we're not trying to be of any trouble. At which point, that is when this lady asked me that what it is that I wanted her to do. And I was like, well, maybe you could start by maybe moving inward. Maybe, you know, that could help alleviate some of the noise here, ma'am. So I suggested that. Now, that's what I said. My mom didn't sugarcoat nothing. She said, go inside. That's what you could do, is go inside. Like everybody else is inside, and have some respect for your neighbors. That's what you could do. And then, whack, I hear my mom's window close. And in that very moment, keep in mind, all of her guests are still outside. And they're right behind her, and she's up against my fence. And when my mom said that, and whack, she shut the window, this little Oompa Loompa looking with a neon shirt, short as hell, probably 4 foot nothing, man, if I could even call him that. He comes up and he starts cussing out my mother in Spanish after she done already closed the window because he's a coward like that. And in that moment, let me tell you something. You could say whatever it is that you want to say to me. I'll go round and round with you and up the street and down and all around the block with you. Oh, girl, I'll go back and forth with you. But if you say something to my mama, I don't care if it's the devil himself, you're going to have an issue with me. So now we done crossed over to This shit's about to get real. I was trying to be cordial. My husband came at you right. I came at you right. I let you know it's a violation. If you could just please go inside. Can we please compromise? And then your little friend, your little midget friend wants to sit up there and get his ass involved and say some shit to my mama? What? Y'all, I lost my ever-loving mind. I lost it. I was done. And before I know it, my ass is stepping out of my house into my backyard and this can get real fast. I didn't realize this in the moment because I was so mad, but I went out there saying, watch your mouth. Watch your fucking mouth, okay? That's my mama you're talking to. There ain't nobody talking to you, sir. You don't even live here, sir. I'm sure you're not even a homeowner, sir. I'm positive of that. Why you are talking is what I want to know. Because I have security footage, after all this happened, I look back at that footage, and while I was saying all that, I was putting up my hair. And I didn't even realize it, but I sure was. I went out there, I said, oh, this can get real fast. This can get real. This can get real. Because I tried to come at you correct. And I don't have to do that. You are the one violating this shit. You're the one that's not having any consideration for your neighbors. You see, ain't nobody else out here. What makes you so special? I can't stand self-serving people like that. You didn't have no conversation with your neighbors. It's not like she came around and had any discussion with anybody and said, hey, I'm going to have this get together, somebody's party. So if we, tend to be up a little late, I'm so sorry if there's any noise, just, let us know. We'll calm it down. Nothing. I go out into the middle of the yard and I'm like, y'all want this to get real? Because I'm tired of being disrespected. I know y'all in the wrong. Y'all know it. And now it's literally myself and David. The minute David sees me going into the middle of the yard, pulling up my hair, he goes, okay. And he comes behind me and he stands with me in the yard like, what's up? So at this moment, it's me and my husband against 15 of them. Okay. Like, I'm not exaggerating. There were so many of them. And all of them came to the fence. One by one, just taking up the fence. So I would like to pause the story real quick and just remind you that COVID-19 is still very much in existence right about now. And all of these people are lining my fucking fence, trying to yell at me and cussing at me and my husband. David are like, for real, this is what it's going to turn into because y'all don't want to just simply keep it down or go inside and you want to sit up here and act like your brain don't work. Your friend and your guest wants to sit up here and talk to me crazy when I'm at home. I'm at home. Not you. I'm at home. I'm trying to sleep. And that's exactly what I told her. She said, we're just trying to hang out. I said, ma'am, I am trying to sleep in my own home. That is what I'm asking. I pay bills here. What you think that I work my ass off for? To be sitting up there and be fighting my child and up and down and be kept up all night because you want to sit up there and party during COVID-19? Bitch, you got me messed up. I'm not doing that. You got the wrong neighbor today. That is what the rules say. That's what the rules are. You do not. Who do you think you are that you feel like you the one? You so important that you don't have to listen. Oh, girl, please. And you see, everybody else in my neighborhood, we are all very thoughtful of each other, straight up. We do not do stuff like that unless it's Friday, Saturday, even Sunday nights. We all understand, like we're not best friends, but we all have that unspoken respect for each other. We really do. And since David and I have lived here, we don't ever have big get-togethers. Even before COVID hit, we never did that, just out of respect for our neighbors. And if we ever did, we talked to them, like I said before. And so, like, this shit, disrespect, no home training, selfish, self-serving, arrogant, bad upbringing. At this point, all of them are lined up at the fence, talking all kinds of shit in both English and Spanish, and I'm understanding every single word, and I'm like, no, F you don't even live here, ain't nobody talking to you, you need to be a mother and figure this out. I don't know why this needs to be an issue. All my husband said was, could y'all please keep it down, we got baby sleeping, and now this is happening. And so all this is happening, and I hear my sliding glass door open. Mama Glamour comes into my backyard, and they are all yelling, and they are all cussing, and they are all talking shit. And me and David are standing in the middle of the backyard. And there's so many voices and we're going back and forth. And all of a sudden my mom said, y'all know that y'all are in the wrong right now. That same man-child in the neon shirt is standing at the fence and he looks at my mom and he tells her in Spanish, I don't have to listen to you, bitch, or that the C word, the C-U-N-T word. I hate that word. I hate that word. He called me that word in Spanish. And before I could even blink, my mom, she crossed my yard so fast. And I see her charge that fence. And she said, what you say about my daughter? David, quick reflexes. He got right in front of my mom. And he's holding her back from the fence. David goes like this to hold my mom back from the fence. And while he does that, that same little man and threw a punch across my fence to my mom. He threw a punch at her. Y'all, he threw a punch at my mama. Y'all, he threw a punch. He threw a little baby punch. He threw a little T-Rex punch. But it was a punch nonetheless. And his arm came across my fence. And he tried to hit my mom. My mom's been through a lot of shit in her life. I've seen my mom go through the depths of hell. My mom, I ain't got to tell y'all all her business because that's her business. But I will sit here and say she's been through enough. It got bad. My mom saw that he tried to swing at her. I'm pulling my mom back from the fence because, y'all, my mom isn't in perfect health. Y'all know part of her past history. She's been sick. She overcame cancer. She's still dealing with the after effects. But of course, she is the grandmother. She is my mom. And she hears this man call me such a vulgar and vile, disgusting word. Y'all, my mom went over there to whoop his ass. And if it weren't for David, I already know my mom would have reverted back to exactly who she used to be back in the day. And she didn't let nobody ever talk to her crazy or us crazy. And she was about to pull that little dude across that fence. I could already feel it in my spirit. David stands between myself, my mom, and them. And he looks at them and he said, enough. That's enough. Y'all aren't making this better. All y'all have to do is go inside. My babies are trying to sleep, but y'all not going to sit up here and be talking to my mother-in-law and my wife like that. That's enough. While David's saying that, he's stepping towards the fence because he's upset. And he steps and steps and steps. And I see him getting closer and closer to that fence. And in that moment, I was like, COVID still exists, bitch. It still exists. Do not let your husband near that fence. Oh, no, ma'am. That's not going to happen. You don't know what they're obviously not social distancing. That's apparent. You don't know if they have COVID. Verbatim, I said, Papi, step away from the fence. They could have COVID. They all erupt in laughter and I hear the men, oh, Papi, yeah, Papi, step away. Oh, you're scared. And one of the big guys, he's super tall, fat, panzon dude. He's sitting up there. He starts talking shit to me. Oh, you're scared of COVID? Oh, okay. He was like, what? You want us to wear masks? You got any? And I looked at him, I said, got any what? He goes, masks. You think you gonna call me on my bluff? You think that this is a damn game? You think that COVID is something to laugh about? You think that this is something that I don't take seriously? Again, you got the wrong motherfucking one. You want some masks? I'll get you some masks. Y'all, I turned right around, went inside my house, got a packet of masks that we have, and took it right back out there. I said, y'all want some masks? Here's the masks. Here you go. If y'all want to sit up here and be at my fence line and be talking to my husband and be yelling and shit, droplets. Okay, I'm not trying to have all that. Y'all can get some masks. Y'all should have been wearing masks in the first place with y'all irresponsible ass. And then y'all have the audacity to have all these little babies out here. Y'all ain't got no shame. Here's some masks. Y'all tell me why the wife, the one that started this whole damn thing, looks at me and has the audacity to say, what is wrong with you? Like, I'm overreacting. Why are you coming out here with masks? Oh my God. And she starts looking at my husband. Oh my God. She's over here saying that we have COVID and bringing out masks. I looked at her and said, ma'am, I don't know you. Of course I think you got COVID. You obviously are not social distancing. That's evident. You sitting up here, you and your whole ass family at my fence line, ma'am. Well, I don't understand why you had to bring out masks. Probably because that viejo right there just asked for a mask right in front of you with your dumb ass. What, you didn't hear that? Your ears still don't work? Don't call me on that shit, because I will. I will, because now you're talking to my husband. You're talking to my mother. You're talking to me. And there is a global pandemic going on. And I am not participating in those types of get-togethers. So who are you to be coming up to my fence and trying to get closer and closer to my husband and over here swinging across my fence? And I look at her and I say, ma'am, señora, it's Monday. Que vergüenza. You're not embarrassed that you're the only person out here, that you're new to this neighborhood and you're behaving this way and making your neighbors feel all uncomfortable? We've been here for 3 years and we've never done this shit. Who the fuck are you? Like, straight up though. Like, the audacity. Are you serious? It's Monday, señora, okay? Okay, again. I'ma say this to you one more again. That may be fine for you, sweetheart. You may have your 4 and 5-year-old up right now. That is your prerogative as a mother, okay? But you see, I don't do the same thing. I'm not gonna be, no, I cannot do that. My babies are babies. Not to mention the fact that my husband has to get up in 5 hours to go to work. People gotta go to work, and it's not just my husband. It's that neighbor and that neighbor and that neighbor and that neighbor. They all gotta go to work. So what are you doing, ma'am? Y'all, this was the most talkingest shit lady I have ever met in my life. She just could not. She could not. She was one of those last word types of bitches. And let me tell you something. That's the kind of chick I come up against, and that's a last word type of girl. We gonna keep going round and round, because guess what? So am I. So am I. So am I. So am I. And I don't get tired. And I'm petty as fuck. Don't forget who you talking to. It was in this moment that I decided that I was going to be pretty petty. So my mom starts telling me, get inside, David, get inside. They could have COVID. This is not right. Like, you know, social distancing. They don't have on no mask. Like, let's go. It's not worth it. Come inside, come inside. So I turn and I'm like, all right, like, I'm done. Go inside. By this point, you guys, her family had already started breaking down the table and taking the chairs and going inside. She was the only person. Her and her husband, and I think maybe another dude, was out there. But everybody else had already made their way inside. And so I turned to go inside because my mom is telling me that I need to come in and me and David need to go inside for our safety. Okay, fine. You know, I'm going to be logical in this moment. And I turn around and I go towards my house. And this lady is still talking shit, having the last word. And every time she said something, I said something back. Every time she said something, I said something back. And we kept going round and round. She said, you're still talking? Yeah, bitch, because you're still talking. So you want me to stop talking? You stop talking. But right before we shut the door, she kept talking. And my mom was like, oh my God, is she still going? I said, yes. She over here twice my age and she's so mature. She has to have the last word, get mature. And I slammed my sliding glass door. And now I understand why my mom always said there ain't no love like the love that you have for your kids. And when you have children, you change as a person where, you know, back in the day, girl, anybody could do whatever. Like, you know, I was so chill, laid back, if people wanted to keep me up, if people wanted whatever. But when it comes to my kids, baby, I will see red. And then you gonna see black and blue. I went to bed heated. I went to bed so upset because it didn't have to go there. It did not have to go there. There were so many vile remarks and cuss words and just belittlement happening. Literally, y'all, the other women that were there didn't say nothing except for the grandma. There was like a grandma there and she like had a foul mouth too. She was sitting up there trying to cuss me out, calling me all kinds of names. I was like, abuelita, if you don't sit down somewhere, ain't nobody trying to listen to you. You need to go inside and rinse out your dentures, okay, abuela? I'm not trying to hear you. That's how things ended. I don't like that type of shit. All it needs to be is communication, okay? And our backyards are just not big enough for them types of parties during the week. Just simply, they're not. And if there was a conversation had beforehand or maybe a memo that I missed, then that would have been one thing. What she was trying to do when my husband went out there very kind and asked them nicely to please keep it down. And I knew exactly what she did. And she really thought that she was going to intimidate somebody. And she really thought that she was going to do whatever she wanted to do and keep her whole ass family out there. No, ma'am. You guys, let me know your thoughts. Have you ever had a neighbor do that? Do you feel like it's your right as a neighbor to do that? Whether or not your place is big or small is irrelevant. Let me know your thoughts down below. But either way, if you enjoyed this video and had yourself a good old time with your girl, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, I would love to have you be a part of my glam fam so you can be a part of all my messy stories. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're a part of my glam fam. I would love to have you. Last but not least, you can follow me on my social media if you would like some more Nikki in your life and some more ratchetness in your life. Just, you know, right here. Best quality content. Just best quality, okay? Y'all see all the shenanigans I'm into. But I love you guys so much. Y'all be safe out there. Y'all use your brain out there. Be courteous. Be kind to others. Be considerate. I love y'all so, so much. And I will see y'all very soon in my next video. Peace out, girl.
Hey, do you guys mind keeping it down a little bit? My babies are trying to sleep.
Sorry?
Can you guys keep it down just a little bit? My babies are trying to sleep.
Sorry?
I was just asking if you guys...
Oh, my husband is telling you that my two babies are right here and they're trying to sleep. Everybody here knows that after 10 p.m. on weekdays, it's quiet hour. So that's why nobody else does that during the week.
Is there any rules written down, though?
Yeah, it's the HOA regulations for this community. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, we're trying not to make too much noise. I don't think that's too much noise at all.
Well, you woke up my son, so... And everything is recorded on here.
Okay.
So the noise levels is being picked up here just because of how many people are out here.
Okay, I mean, I don't know what we can do, but...
Just, I mean, if you guys could keep it down or just maybe move inward, maybe that could be, because you guys have very little respect for your neighbors. She's bothered. No, yeah. Can we come to a compromise so my children can sleep? I see that your children are up. I don't want to fight either, ma'am. I'm trying to sleep in my home. I'm trying to sleep in my home and have my children go to sleep at a decent hour. That's what I'm trying to do as a mother. I'm not even listening to you, sir. I don't care about what you have to say. I'm sure you're not a homeowner, sir. I'm positive of that. I am positive of that. Hey, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. This can get real fast. That's HOA rules. That's what happened once. Yeah, I can get the whole thing back. Listen, I'm your neighbor. Get what's up? We've seen it. It's easy to you and your